What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. Just to let you guys know, I've been dropping some bonus videos here lately, and during the playoffs, that's what we're going to start doing, dropping bonus videos and keeping everybody engaged, locked in. And of course, we will be doing that, throughout the season some, but more or less in the playoffs, we got to always, keep it, keep things going and keep everything on the up and up, and keep you guys updated. So that's my goal, and that's my team's goal, and that's what we're going to do. But back to the business at hand. Appreciate you guys always. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you. Just appreciate everything you do. And without you guys giving me comments and the feedback and all those things, Callie wouldn't even be here. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you guys to the highest. But one thing I wanted to talk about was, lately, since game 2, of course, there's been a lot of, talk about Kawhi's performance, and it was nuclear. It was a virtuoso. Honestly, Kawhi Leonard made history with that performance. He has the most 30-point plus games, shooting over 80 plus percentage, close to 80% shooting in the NBA. Amongst active players, I think he's got 9. Durant's got like 7. James Harden's got like 7 or 8, somewhere in there. But especially in the playoffs, we know what Kawhi is all about. And, his efficiency is really the craziest we've ever seen. And it's crazy how he can do this efficiency thing while he's in the biggest games of his life, which is the playoffs, which a lot of other players aren't able to do. So, that's an accomplishment all on its own. But to me, I think what really, stood out to me about game 2 was the post game. Hearing Kawhi's comments, definitely should cease a lot of the hate that has came towards him by him saying in the post game, that he's glad, he's happy that he's able to just walk. He's happy that he's able to just, leave a game and not be injured, He's happy to be out there with his teammates and fighting with his teammates and trying to, win and be competitive like we're always used to seeing him be. When he was at his best is when he's healthy. That goes a long way. And I feel like that's huge. Coming from Kawhi, because a lot of people think he doesn't talk or doesn't have any feelings. He's just very, very machine-like, and he is. But at the same time, he hears a lot of the things. He heard a lot of the things people said throughout the summers of last year, and then the Team USA thing, people talking about he should retire and all these things, and it's like, I feel like all that's fueled him and motivated him to be, the player that you see him playing like now, and I hope that he stays healthy. I really do. Because it isn't many players in this league that I honestly would rather, watch play the game of basketball than him. Because I feel like when Kawhi plays, I feel like he gives you everything he got when he's on the floor. I feel like he gives you efficiency, which he does. And I feel like he gives you one of the highest levels of basketball that you can actually watch. Now, of course, people can make a case for Luka and LeBron and all those players, but Kawhi is one of those players as well. And he's been that for a long time, even before Luka and even when LeBron was in his prime, so Kawhi's been there and done that. He's won championships. He's been great. He still is a great player. And all the hate that he got, about his injuries is really a sad situation, because he can't help that he got injured. Just like no player in the world can help they got injured. They talked bad about Derrick Rose one time when he was playing because he got injured so much, acting like he wanted to be hurt, like he didn't want to be the superstar player that he was. The difference is, Kawhi found a way to come back and survive through it all. And here he is now, playing the top of his game, and led his team to a huge victory against a Nuggets team that could have went up 2-0, or the Clippers could have went up 2-0 in this series if they would have found a way to win the first game, which was a nail biter also. But really, the Nuggets could have went up 2-0 and really took command of the series if Kawhi didn't play to that level, because honestly, James Harden didn't have a good first half. Norm Powell didn't have a good first half, hasn't had a good series. Bogey hasn't scored none this series. And the bench from the Clippers is really not getting no production at all. So without Kawhi Leonard having that masterclass type game, they'd be sitting down 0-2 going back to LA, hoping that they can try to, cure the situation by getting at least one victory at home, hoping that the Nuggets wouldn't possibly go up like 3-1, or something like that in the series, or whatever the case, 2-1 in the series, excuse me. So it would be tough. But I mean, Kawhi didn't let that happen. And I felt like there was no way he was going to allow his team to lose with the mentality and everything that he had going to that game and the way he displayed it on the court, by the way he played. But, it's funny now hearing a lot of the media people try to give him credit about how great of a player he is and all these things and how, he's always been great and all these things. And these are the same people that was probably more than likely that was sitting there talking bad about him when he was down. Now you hear Stephen A. Smith talking like, oh, yeah, Kawhi is playing so great. He's so this, and so that. And he's such a weirdo for that, because just last season you were talking about like him retiring and, bashing him because he doesn't stay healthy. And he came on the court and played 2 games and he walked off the court, never showed up. And you used that against him like it was his fault. But now you're up there, you're riding his dick basically. Oh, Kawhi can lead the team to a championship and all that. He always been able to lead the team to a championship. He just wasn't healthy enough to do it. Everybody know Kawhi Leonard is a championship caliber player. He's a winner. He's always been that. But his health has always been his issue. And even throughout all these health issues he's had, he still managed to find a way to win multiple championships in this league, unlike other players who are healthy and don't win anything. I mean, do you realize Kawhi Leonard had all these injuries, and there's players who's played in this league who played a whole hell of a lot more healthier, who played more games, who were a whole lot more healthier than Kawhi and didn't win the same amount of championships as Kawhi. Look at Charles Barkley. Look at a lot of players who were healthy. I mean, one of my favorite players, Allen Iverson, was healthy all the time, but he didn't win no championships. He couldn't do what Kawhi Leonard can do. He wasn't as great as Kawhi on the offensive end. He was better than Kawhi, or he wasn't as great as Kawhi on the defensive end, but he was better than Kawhi on the offensive end. But he doesn't have Kawhi Leonard's bag, you know what I mean? So neither did Charles Barkley. Look at a lot of the great players in this league. Steve Nash back in the day. Look at a lot of great players, even players now. Look how long they look at all the games they play and the games they might not miss and still don't win championships. In the short amount of time that Kawhi Leonard has been on the floor and missed all the games he's missed, his effect is still better than 90% of the players in the league, because he's put together a resume 90% of the players in the league don't have. And even players before him, a lot of superstars before him don't even have his resume. And he's played a lot less games and still accomplished a whole lot more. It just goes to show you how great this man is and how much appreciation we need to give him, because he is a great player and he does not want to be hurt regardless of what the media paints out. Because you don't hear none of his teammates come out and say that. You don't hear, nobody say that about Kawhi Leonard. Nobody that's played with him, nobody that's, on his team watching the work and the grind that he puts in every day to be out there as much as he can. So, I mean, it's weird to hear the love that he's getting. It's like blasphemous to me, but I'm pretty sure Kawhi is still using the negativity as fuel to fuel him going through these playoffs, and hopefully he can stay healthy and, just keep it going. Because if he can win this championship for the Clippers, another organization just like Toronto who's never won a championship, I mean, you got to put him in your top 10 of all time if he can pull this one off.